Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Julianne Peterson, and I am here every Tuesday night, and I'm with Old Capital Lending. We are looking forward to another great night of Zoom at 8. We're here again every Tuesday night. And you know what? There are 6 other nights that you can go off and have fun, but all you guys commit to Tuesday night because we're making things happen. We've closed 7 deals, and I think we have one more in the hopper. So who's going to be number 8? At any rate, we are super excited tonight. We've got two guests that you know what? I've heard so many people say, I'm so excited to see what they have to say tonight. You guys have a lot of friends, so they're all going to be here to listen to what you have to say. But again, Julie, Old Capital, we are a premier provider of debt. If you're looking at a multifamily property, I'd love to be able to help you, whether it's bank, bridge, agency, CMBS. I can help with sponsorship. I can help with insurance broker or a property manager or an attorney or cost segregation. I've got IRA people. I can help with a lot of things. So I'm a great resource, as well as so many of my partners show up for Zoom at 8 and really want to encourage you to reach out to them as well. All right, I think we are ready to roll with our speakers tonight, you guys. I'm super excited. I was looking back at my emails as to when I heard from these guys. They reach out to me. Myron, I think, Duamel, they were on the phone. They sent me emails, and they said, you know, we're new at this. And I said, that's okay. I work with a lot of new people. And a couple, maybe 18 months, 24 months went by, and I was floored how much these guys have taken action. And I was so excited. I wanted to share it with you, because what I think is so important is that we keep our hope and we understand that this is not something that happens overnight. People forget that, you know what, good relationships are worth taking their time. And these two guys have known each other since college. So, you know, it's not overnight, and it may sound like over 2 years they were able to, you know, really take action, but it's something that has been in the works for some time. And I got to tell you that I got so many people that saw that these two guys were going to be on, Myron and Duamel, were going to be on Zoom at 8, and they were excited to see them. They have connected so well with other people in the industry. They've brought themselves kind of a buzz about their success. So I'm super excited to introduce Myron McNeil and Duamel Vellon.
Saludos.
So Myron is a managing principal and founder of American Commodity Investment Group and has 18 years of real estate experience. He's also a co-owner and chief business strategist for American Commodity Real Estate firm. In his role, he leads all the sales, marketing, and business development campaigns for both residential and commercial initiatives. Myron also holds a Bachelor of Science degree in electrical engineering from the University of Central Florida and an MBA in Florida Institute of Technology. He also has 16 years of experience in corporate America, helping to negotiate and secure over 150 million in international contracts, acquisitions, and manage engineering teams. He currently owns 126 units and has several acquisitions on the horizon. Duamel is an accomplished electrical engineer and a managing principal of 1015 Capital, which is a real estate investment company that acquires and manages commercial multifamily properties. He has more than 15 years of real estate investing. He did both fix and flips, wholesaling, short sales, and now commercial multifamily. His entrance into multifamily was as an integral team member that acquired 2 large apartment complexes in Central Florida, 125 units, and $120 million raise. His previous career spanned 18 years as a leader of the electrical construction industry, where he successfully managed multi-million-dollar feature attraction developments in the theme parks. Wow. Duamel lives in Central Florida area with his wife, who is on, Maria Jimenez is on. You can see her. She's behind the scenes. And Lupita Lupita, I don't know why she goes by Maria, and their kids, Luna and Sol. But we'll figure that out here shortly.
Let's do it.
So anyway, you guys, here's what I want. I want you to turn your view, that little thing up in the right-hand side, go to speaker. And there's Duamel. Duamel is here, and Myron is going to say some great things too. But I want to hear from both of you. What an introduction. Two very smart guys, engineers. How the heck did you come to multifamily? Tell me about your previous experience.
Myron, I think first and foremost, we need to carry Julie wherever we go, man. What an amazing intro.
Man, I feel like a rock star, man.
Yeah, that kind of pumped me up a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
It's all truth. It's all truth.
Yeah, we're so grateful and honored, though, especially for inviting us on the show. I know 2 years ago, early in our journey, we reached out to you just trying to network and connect with various people in the multifamily space. And you were so welcoming to us, even though we had no experience. You took your time, you were patient, you answered all our questions, and we're truly grateful for that. Just want to let you know that really helped us to continue to move forward and spearheaded our movement and where we are today. So definitely want to let you know that.
Well, thank you. That is honor to be recognized like that. So I'm glad I could help with that.
Absolutely. And you got quite an awesome crowd. Gail, Mark, JT, Kenneth, Brian. Hey, we're looking at Indianapolis too. So we'll be there coming soon. My wife and I, actually 10/15 Capital, that's 10/15 is our anniversary date. You know, Lupita, her first name is Maria, her middle name is Guadalupe, so they call her Lupita.
Okay.
So that's where you see the two names. Yeah, no worries. It's one of those things where like friends and family call her Lupita. So,
okay, well then we're good friends now. So
yes.
Lupita, welcome to Zoom at 8. Now listen, I want you guys to share your story. I want to know how you chose the markets that you're looking in, what kind of properties you guys decided to go after. How did you choose each other? I know you went to college, but tell us kind of a little bit about your previous experience. Let's start that off before going to multifamily.
We're definitely gonna get there. So you're gonna notice that Myron and I are yin and yang. So I'm the guy in the BB in the boxcar. I'm jumping all around. Like for example, I saw Vinky on the call here. Vinky is a great friend. What's up, Vinky? So I'm going to be doing shout outs. I'm going to be just like kind of spazzing out, but Myron's going to ground us. So,
perfect partnership.
Yeah.
A perfect partnership. Yes. Now listen, I want to know what experience you had before you got into real estate.
All right. You let me start it off, Duamel, and you can chime in.
Go for it, man.
So we're both engineers. We were great friends in college, both electrical engineering majors. So of course we were in all the classes together, but we had a unique connection over a lot of other people in that we were always passionate about real estate. I mean, we were going to college to get our degrees, but our love and passion has always been real estate. Mm. And even after we got our degrees, we always connected to try new things, building wealth through real estate. We knew that was where we wanted to go, but we didn't quite know the vehicle that would get us there. We tried the flips, the rentals, those were good, but it wasn't financial freedom. And yeah, so, one day, and this is a really funny story, Duamel called me in 2019. I was driving on the 408 highway. I got a call from Duamel, and he's so excited about multifamily. And I'm trying to calm him down on the phone. What are you talking about? He's like, this is what we've always wanted. I found it, I was kind of taken back by it at first, but I said, let me do my research on this, So I took a lot of time, research for months researching this stuff, and my mind was blown. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is it. This is what we've been searching. So, you know, at that point, you know, Duamel's like, hey, let's go on this journey together. And, you know, after that, we partnered up. The short story is we partnered up. We went all in. We never turned back. And, you know, 3 properties, 125 units later, here we are.
Yeah, we believe wholeheartedly in your word is your bond. Like Nipsey Hussle said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So we know it's a long game. We always talk about long game. We're always reminding each other it's a long game. But relationships and reputation, because reputation is key. You were talking about, you know, some people trying in a different market, kind of screwing up in that market and then going back to your target market. You know, it's we're all about your word is your bond, your reputation is your bond. We want to always try to do the right thing, and so that's really what drives us. And we both have that strong north of I don't know if that translates well, but we have a strong compass, you know, headed north, where it's always do the right thing, even if it's painful, even if we have to walk away from a deal, or if we have to walk away from a partnership. That, you know, we're strong-willed in that regard, and taking care of the relationships.
Yeah, it's tough. You're married. Yeah, I'm sure your wives.
Not to each other, but there's nothing wrong with it.
Correct, but that's okay. We don't judge. But my point is that the time that you're spending, it takes time away from your family. And both your spouses have to be on board on that. So I'm curious how you educated yourself. You guys went all in. Tell us a little bit about that. How did you make your decision? What were the steps that you took to get educated?
Sure. And so I had a bad experience with my last flip back in 2015 or so. And I was working on, so you spoke earlier about me being involved in theme parks. So we were developing an attraction here at Walt Disney World, and I had to travel a lot. And it was in the middle of doing a flip, and, you know, the contractors were not responding. They wouldn't show up. It took a long time until you have hard money loans, you're paying mortgage, you know, so my stress level was super high. So Myron was saying earlier about how we tried these, you know, these flips, we tried all these things, and it was extra work. It was more stress than we can handle. And so, like, after about 10 years of doing flips, you know, my wife Lupita and I were like, hey, let's just take a break and focus on engineering. Let's focus on the family. We ended up having our first child the year after. I focused on my professional engineering license. So I got licensed in the state of Florida for engineering. But like Myron said, there's always that real estate bug, and, you know, in the back of the mind is like, dude, you know, your passion is real estate, man. Like, you love construction, you love engineering, but it's really real estate. So I picked up a multifamily millions book, David Lindahl, and it just, like, you know, like you feel your brain just kind of opening up and just growing. You kind of get that headache because your brain just grew. So that's what happened. And I was telling Lupita, it was like November or something of that 2018. I'm like, man, I need to find some sort of a seminar or something. And just a month and a half later, there was one in the first week of January, and that's where life completely changed for me and for Myron, because I was calling him at every break. I'm like, dude, you have no idea. Like, this is amazing. The people, because, you know, when you're doing fix and flips, when you're in that residential world, it's dog eat dog. You know, there's a lot of dumb people making dumb deals, and you're always getting bid out, and everybody's competing. Like, there's no camaraderie. And what I found, you know, from day one at that seminar, what I found was everybody wants to help each other. Like, look at this group you have here. And it's all collaboration based. There's no competition. Like, dude, the pie is infinite. We could figure out how to work together and help everybody, you know, help each other reach our goals. And that's really what launched it. And then from then on, we went in on some mentorship programs, and just started connecting with a lot of people. So Myron's got a really interesting strategy. He loves doing strategy and chess and strategists. But he created this spreadsheet that said, hey, we need to start filling in these different partners. So that's when we started joining masterminds and going to every meetup we could and every seminar we could, and just started crazy networking with people that were way ahead of where we wanted to be, people that were just starting, people that were in the middle. and just started filling in all of those blanks.
Fantastic. I mean, first of all, to find your partner, your number one partner is key. And you guys had that, which is great. How was it for you to find a sponsor? What were some of the challenges that you found in trying to put that partnership together?
That's all you, Myron. You love this topic, man, because we just lived it.
It's always a challenge when you're, new in the space. Everyone's been there, and you don't have a lot of experience. You don't have deals under your belt. So how are you going to find someone to trust you with the deal? So we took a different approach. Because we're analytical and engineers, our focus was we want to learn every phase of this. So we went all in on underwriting and learning how to underwrite and analyze deals. So that's what we kind of started off, analyzing deals. And then we started a direct to seller campaign, because we realized that without us having experience, if we can actually get the deal and lock that down, we would have a better chance of reaching a sponsor. So that's kind of the approach we went at. And we found our first deal was in Clearwater, a small 11 unit. And it was small enough that we were able to take that one down ourselves as the sponsors. And it was a joint venture. So we brought in like 3 or 4 other people. But that deal, man, the power of the first deal, we learned so much from that. And that gave us the confidence and the momentum to where, man, we did this 11 unit. I mean, we weren't scared. We said, oh man, we can do any deal. So we started going after bigger deals, direct to seller. And really the gold mine happened when we landed a 100-unit property direct to seller. And once we had that property locked down, we were able to find a sponsor. But there's always adversity. So
talk about that, please.
And slow down. This is key. This is key for everybody that's putting a deal together. I think this is going to be this is worth what you paid for to come into this to this chat.
It's all free, but nonetheless.
Hey, you told me it was $100.
Myron, what do you got? Tell us.
Yeah, so I mean, we were super excited. We found the owner. We were negotiating the sale. We actually put it under contract. We had it under contract. We had a sponsor. Everything was going great. I mean, we were excited. We set up the due diligence. We're walking the property. The numbers look great. Everything was going good. And, our sponsor, during the due diligence or after the due diligence, he told us that, he was going to back out of the deal. Not so much that he didn't like the deal, but he had a lot going on, and he just, he wasn't able to continue with the deal. So here we are, we're new in the game. We don't have a big network. We're stuck. There's earnest money on the table. What are you going to do? So we were punched in the face.
Hang on, Myron. $5 billion deal, $2 million raise. You have to have net worth and liquidity, all these things, right, to be able to get to a deal. And the day, we're in due diligence and our sponsor backs out, and we depended on them, for the bulk of that. So that was like I said, a punch to the face and then another punch to the face.
So keep going.
But yeah, with everything in life, adversity, that pushes you, that makes you stronger. We wouldn't have, as we look back on it now, we wouldn't have had it any other way, because that forced us and it challenged us to reach out and to do the hard work, the dirty work, reach out to people, find other sponsors. And we were able to find, we had how long did we have in the, process?
30 days. So we did speed dating. So, So thankfully, because we had been working on relationships and we had been working on connections and talking to, because a relationship is more than one phone call, and then you write that person's information down on a thing and you come back to them. relationship is you hit them up, periodically, and you're keeping it warm. And so we were beyond blessed to have several connections that led us to other connections. So we did like a speed dating. We had 6 or 7. I mean, think about that. We went from one guy, and then he backed out. We went to 0, and all of a sudden, the light bulb went off. Dude, let's connect with the people we've been connecting with. So we literally did speed dating. Hey, we have 30 days to close, right, Myron? Like, it was 30 days to close.
So we had to lock the sponsor down. I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks we had to try to lock someone in. And thankfully, I mean, we knew everything about the deal inside and out. We had the budgets, we had the underwriting.
We knew the market. We had been up to the property several times. We did all the secret shopping. So, Lupita, Myron, we visited all of the comps. I mean, we knew this deal. We knew every number to the penny.
So how do you end up, you've got 6 or 7 sponsors. How do you make a decision? Did they make a decision, or did you make a decision on them? Because it has to be both, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
they can like you, but you don't, it might not be a right fit. I think it's really important, and everybody needs to understand it, is that you're married to this person. You have to be able to sit down and have conversations and come develop this business plan that's going to fit. And they have to have a say in it as well. There's a lot of sponsors out there that are saying, give me money, and then they go away. And you've heard me say this. These guys are brand new. They needed somebody to help hold their hand. So I'm curious, keep going on with the story.
Yeah. So we needed somebody to buy into our business plan, because Myron and I developed it. We did the underwriting. So, going through, it was like the Goldilocks. Some plates were too warm or too hot. Some were too cold. Some, and just human nature. We're all just humans here, and having a spiritual experience, or spiritual beings having a human experience. But, some people came off as arrogant and just wanted total control. And it's like, man, we're not here just to give you a deal. We're here because our main focus at the end of the day is to be master operators, asset managers. So we don't want to just hand you the keys, so, we tasted a couple of different opportunities, and yeah, I mean, we had very short time to decide on a partner, and it was a matter of, do we click?
Yeah.
So
we had like 2 finalists, and the timing was just perfect. That one of the finalists, he contacted us, and it was at the perfect time, and he was the person we had selected at anyways, and he was ready to go forward. He said he thought about it, and everything worked out. Couldn't have worked out better, but we could have tucked our tails between our legs when we lost the sponsor and just gave up on the deal. But in this business, you have to fight to the end, and you just got to keep pushing, keep fighting.
I love that. You guys really put that thing together, and that was big, from 11 to 100.
We 10x'd.
And so for people that say, I'd much rather start out small, you guys saw the small and you went big. Talk to us a little bit about what you've learned in terms of how much capital you can create with the larger buildings versus the smaller buildings. What are you finding?
Go ahead, Duamel.
Yeah, man. So the opportunity to be, a lot of us have different aspirations, different goals. Like Myron and I wanted to be operators. Some people just want the LP check, which is really cool too. And so in this particular deal, because they're bigger numbers, it's easier to have a little bit of room for error. It's easier to, when you get those distributions, the numbers are much bigger, as opposed to our 11 unit. And, when in our case, we're GPs, we also invested in the deal because we do believe in investing right alongside our investors. Our mentors, every single one of our mentors has taught us that. And so,
Mhm.
so we invest right alongside. So we're GPLP and asset management. The numbers are, yeah, much bigger. They're 10x, maybe even a little more.
So let me just make sure I understand it and everybody else understands it. Your 11 is a JV deal
Yes,
and it's small, and you have a syndication at 100.
yes.
Can
Yes.
you share with us high level, which one is producing more capital for you? JV, typically people say, I'm making more money.
So I'll give my quick, and then I'll bounce past to Myron. But I think that the same amount of work that went in to do the 11 unit went into the 100 unit. The same amount of management goes into it, believe it or not. Even managing the partners. So if we had to choose whether one or the other, it's a 100 unit all day long.
Oh, that gives me chills.
Thank you.
I just love that. There are so many people that say, I can't do this. I can't do this, the larger deals.
Yeah,
What would you say to them?
you hear it. So Myron and I are both fathers, and so you always hear the cliche that when you have a child, there's that light switch for fatherhood, and everybody says laughs it off, and then you have the kid. It's like, whoa, the light switch happened. All of a sudden, I'm drinking less or I'm hanging out less, and it's that's really it. It's when you're these bigger deals, it takes the exact same amount of work. It's fascinating that it does. Like the lenders are saying, no offense, same pain in the butt. Dealing with the JV partners. In the 11 unit, we had a JV partner back out, so we had to fill him in real quick. And then how do we fill him in? Oh, do we put more capital? Do we not? I mean, so it's the same deal.
Interesting.
I will say, Julie, the 11 unit, you hear the power of the first deal, right?
Mhm.
The 11 unit gave us that confidence that we could take on a 100 unit deal. And, you hear a lot of people who say, just start with the big deal. You don't go small, but I kind of disagree with that a little bit. You start with whatever deal and opportunity that comes before you that you're able to take down. If you're able to take down a 5 unit or 6 unit, take it down, because it's something about the power of the first deal. It's not, cliche that people just saying that, but once you have the first deal and you get that confidence, that momentum just drives you to the point to where you realize we can really step this up. And if we can accomplish and go through this smaller deal, we can take down any deal. So I think really that small deal gave us the confidence that we need, not only to take down a larger deal, but also to syndicate, because we had never syndicated a deal before. So, it was our first large deal and our first syndication. So it really forced us to connect with different people, with SEC attorneys and different people in the syndication space, to really get the knowledge and keep building our confidence that we could raise capital. We can do these things. So that's kind of
I do agree with you. The confidence, it is tough a lot of people say just use other people's money. And I absolutely love your commitment to investing with your own money. A lot of people stay in single family so that they can fund their multifamily. Not a bad way. But so that then leads me to the next question, which is, where are you at with the W-2?
that's perfect timing. I'll let Duamel jump.
I just put my notice in.
No kidding.
No kidding. I just put my notice in. I hear my wife screaming downstairs. Yeah, I just put.
So this is 2 years.
I'm blushing
really
a little bit.
that you've been focused on multifamily, and you're leaving your W-2 to work full time.
On this full time. Absolutely.
And you have 126 units, 125, something like that.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
And you're gonna be able to manage your household costs and all your vacations with 126 units.
Absolutely.
Do you guys hear that? I mean, that is truly amazing. So I congratulate you, Duamel. Big decision.
So 2 things real quick. One is taking massive action, right? So we hear that constantly. You've mentioned it, you've hit on it several times. And I think our superpower, Myron, is to take massive action, because that 11 unit deal, we had to decide, like, oh shit, the guy said, oh, sorry, like he said, hey, the guy accepted our LOI. The guy doesn't even want to do an LOI. He just has to go straight to contract. Like, what do we do, man? Like, this is real. You know?
This is happening.
And then just to plow forward. Then,
Yeah,
you know,
you guys are very bold. I mean, I got to tell you, so proud of you. So you did. You guys took massive action. I'm just so thrilled to be able to share your story with everybody. Myron, tell me about your W-2.
Hey, I have a date in mind also, and it's not far behind Duamel. So, you know, prayerfully, hey, I'll be leaving mine soon as well. So it's one of those things to where you'll never be comfortable. You can always talk yourself out of it, but at some point you have to just move forward, because you know that your W-2 is really holding you back to reaching your full potential. And I think a lot of people look back and realize that they waited too long, right? You'll never be 100% comfortable. So you have to just, you know, know the right time to where you just cut the cord and just go all in. And, you know, it's easier said than done, but that's kind of the decision that we've made and that we will make in the near future. For me, I'm definitely right behind Duamel on that one.
I just got to say, you know, you're probably both head of the household, to be able to have the support of your spouses and your kids. And that is an enormous amount of pressure, and you guys are taking it on. I just think it's so amazing. I'm curious, what does the future hold? What is your next steps? What are your goals for next year, and how are you going to get to it?
Yeah, we have audacious goals. Myron and I mean, we're not satisfied. We're not content. I mean, we're very grateful, but we're still doing the cold calling. We're still tracking down off-market deals. So in the last 6 months or so, we have pivoted to the development side of things. So we've reached out to mentors. We've began the different courses, you know, so we're big proponents of education. So we've been educating ourselves, and we're moving into the development space next. So yes, we're still targeting deals, but since as cap rates continue to compress, you know, we have an investor base that we're loyal to our numbers, and so we promised them a certain number. You know, we can't just take any deal just for the sake of getting a deal. So the returns, you know, our investors are gold, right? And so you know, we're very, very selective. We're still targeting that, but now we're looking into making offers on land, putting land deals together to do some development.
Amazing. I mean, really, there's so much opportunity there. It's just overwhelming. I mean, it's just a blanket canvas for you to move forward. So I love that. Now,
Julie,
I know,
Julia,
yes.
I do want to interject. So a third prong that we're doing, that we're all in on, is asset management. So we have taken the time to educate ourselves hardcore on asset management. What I've done in my corporate life for 18 years is asset management, putting budgets together, managing construction budgets, managing teams. I can manage, you know, property managers. I have 18 years experience on the asset management side. So we are hardcore targeting partnerships, because now we understand that there's a lot of people doing deals that may not necessarily even like I mean, asset management is hard. Now that we've done it on our 3 deals, we've participated as LPs on 2 larger deals, and we're kind of behind the scenes on those as well. So seeing how the bacon is really cooked, because what we've witnessed is a lot of times property managers tell the asset managers, you know, what I would call up and coming asset managers, what they want to hear, what they're doing. Instead of, no, dude, like, you put a business plan together, This
Yeah.
is, so you are the CEO and they are your managers, and you need to make sure that they're following your plan. So we are wide open to partnerships. We can help you with underwriting. We can help you with putting the business plan together. We can even help you raise capital. But yeah, we're all in to asset manage on your behalf. You know, if you have people that may be interested in that,
Yeah.
that is a hardcore passion of ours.
That sounds fantastic. And, you know, before you guys leave, I want to make sure that you're putting your contact information in the chat box, but I do have 2 more questions.
Shoot.
And then we'll open it up for a quick Q&A. But first, because capital raising is probably the hardest thing to do. Some people, it comes very naturally. You guys being engineers, most people would think engineers are, you know, numbers. How has that been a challenge for you? What have you done in terms of a platform? What are you doing to scale that piece of your business?
I'm smiling because let them know, Myron, let them know what time it is.
So, you know, when we started this journey and we kind of, you know, laid out how we would approach it, what's kind of different about us, we kind of attacked every area of it. We were so obsessed with it. We didn't just want to, you know, we're analytical by nature, so the underwriting kind of came easier for us because we're into the numbers, but we didn't just want to focus on one area. So the capital raising, we knew that would be a challenge. So what we ended up doing was, we didn't have a clue what we were doing. We didn't have any deals, but we started having these investor meetups at like, you know, clubhouses. We would have like wine and hors d'oeuvres, and we started with friends and family. We sent out these, you know, evites. We tried to make it exclusive to certain people, and we would bring them out and we would just talk purely off of our passions and laying out the roadmap of our vision on where we're trying to go. And what helped us was, because we were able to connect to other major players in the space, we were able to kind of include them as you know, we took these training, we were getting mentored by these people who already have more experience than us. And people slowly started to buy into that. We had these meetings like once a month, and slowly, you know, we started to build a list, but that list starts to explode once you actually get deals. So the 11 unit was the first deal that we were able to get, and that kind of built our resume. But the 100 unit just exploded everything. And because we're able to perform very well on the 100 unit, that even has grew our investor base even more. So we just started small, brick by brick, man. You just gotta.
But hold up. I don't want to gloss over that, Julie. So we literally did investor presentations, which a PowerPoint, you know, we invested in a big TV, you know, because the first one was a projector, it was a disaster, but we still did it. But that old school, bring 20 people into a room and pitch them. We did that a whole bunch of times in different clubhouses, different areas of Central Florida. And
during COVID, by the way.
Yeah, before and during COVID.
I mean, you guys are spectacular. I'm just so impressed. I do have a question for you, and it goes out to each of you, and I want to know, what are your words of wisdom?
You want to go
first?
first?
Ahead, Myron. You're going first.
Look at you. Yeah, man.
My words of wisdom, that, you know, this is something that I kind of go by and I tell everyone, and Duamel and I both, stay humble and stay hungry. Because the humble part is, no matter how far we go in this space, and, you know, we always know that we have so many areas that we need to grow. And we're just so humbled by the fact of where we've been able to go in such a short time. But at the same time, we realize that we're still learning. We're still trying to grow. We're still trying to become better operators, better capital raisers. So staying humble and willing to learn and continue to grow, that's always something that you should have. The hunger part is what drives you, your passion. Passion will get you places that money and education can't. And I truly believe that, because we didn't have any money really when we started. We didn't have a network, and we were just trying to learn what multifamily was, but we were driven by pure passion. It's like, no matter what happened, we kept going, kept pushing forward. So the words of wisdom I would give is just keep pushing, keep working, keep fighting until you see results.
Love it. Stay humble. How about you, Duamel?
Yeah, so I'm bringing it a little bit on a different side. So always be growing, and live the moment. So our family, our close friends, that is who we live for. So, a ritual that I have when I get home is my phone's on do not disturb from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And that's family time. My phone goes away. I'm in the moment with my kids and my wife. And to me, nothing else matters. So live the moment, because that you're living for them.
Oh my gosh, that is so powerful. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I have to tell you, I'm going to call you at 9:01. No, just kidding.
I'll be right here working.
I think that is so amazing that you put them as a priority. I think that is a real struggle in this community. We're all so excited about being part of a deal and getting it across the line, and we lose sight so many times that, I better make that phone call. I better, go to this conference on a special date, or, I love that. And I do appreciate you bringing that to our attention. I do have one. I have a question. Came in from Rick. Rick,
what's up, Rick?
Can you why don't you go ahead? Would you present to the investors if there was no deal?
Yeah, that's exactly how we did it.
That's how we got started.
It's 100%. We had we created a PowerPoint presentation based on what is a syndication, how is it different than residential, why it matters when you're looking at long-term growth, long-term wealth, investing. We're talking about investing 101, not gambling, comparing at least our experiences with rental and tenants versus completely passive, and just again, just our approach, but selling our investors on, hey, you are investing in real estate and truly passive in economies of scale, all that good stuff. We did have a sample deal on the back end of the presentation.
Yeah.
So 100%, what is a syndication? And then this is a sample deal.
Fantastic. Great.
And also, if you have, because there was an LP deal, we kind of used the LP deal as a sample from an LP. So we that's very important also too. If you don't have a GP opportunity, starting off as an LP is always great, because you can leverage that in your investor presentations.
Oh, hang on, Myron. Let's hit on that real quick. So we LP'd on a few deals, but we didn't just LP and be passive. We asked, how can we be of value? What can we do? Our very first deal, 300 plus units here in Orlando. I mean, as an LP, but we came in and said, hey, can we help in due diligence? The answer was, yeah, come on in. And so we did due diligence. We ended up doing due diligence on their next deals. And it was that we got to sit in the big boy table, see how they're putting the $60 million deal together, how they're talking to their investors. We're looking at their spreadsheets, their underwriting. So we're just looking at
so powerful.
Literally, how could we provide value? I mean, we brought waters, we brought coffees, we brought lunch, hey, whatever it takes, man. But like, as long as I can be in the room.
So that is a great piece of information. And I want to make sure that everybody listens to that you don't have to have a deal, but you can get on and learn from somebody else by being an LP, because you want to choose an LP that's going to allow you to grow and to understand. There, a lot of people say, hey, I'm going to place my money with this great syndicator, but all they'll do is they'll take your money and you'll never hear from them. You'll get paid, and
True
that's
story.
great.
True
But if
story.
you're not learning and you don't understand it and you see how some of the decisions are made and why they're made, that should be, in my opinion, one of the things that's important when you're investing with somebody, that they're going to hold your hand. They're not going to have to hold everybody's hand, but for me, I'm bringing 100,000 or 50,000. This is what I'm looking for. Would you be willing to do that? Some will say yes, some will say no. So it's really your vetting process if that's what you're interested in. And I think a lot of us are interested in learning more and how these syndicators do it. Ask the question. I think it's super powerful. And I think, Duamel, that is a really good point. There was one other question, and then we're going to jump off here. Question came from Jalen. How did you manage? How did you manage to lock a deal up without a sponsor?
Taking massive action. So we built, again, relationships. If you're asking about the big deal, the 100-unit deal?
I think that was your first one on the 11. And I would probably tell you that on smaller deals like that, your number one partner in a deal is your lender.
Yep.
So when you have a deal that small and these guys JV'd it, they were able to convince the bank, this is recourse lending. They're signing on the loan. A bank will do that. So you don't necessarily have to have as much. You do have to have your tax returns and all of that stuff. But on those smaller deals, you can get them done, right? I mean, you're capable. And that's why a lot of people go to bank. But the problem is, and this is what you guys found, is you got to be able to accelerate. You got to be able to take on larger deals. That's what's going to be, when we go over to agency or we go into bridge, that's how we're going to help you do that. So
absolutely. And also, Julie, it's going back to why did the seller go with us and why did the lender entertain us? And I think that's the question maybe that's being asked. And so first is the lender building relationships. We called you 2 years ago, long before we even did our first LOI.
Yeah.
And so we started, we talked about Myron's strategy of filling in every box and building relationships, touching base every 30 days, every 60 days. So our lenders were already familiar with us. So we didn't come out of the blue and say, hey, we have this $5 million deal, will you finance us? It's, hey, we've been talking, and they're like, oh, we're really excited for you. Let's send me the package. Let's get the thing rolling.
Building the team ahead of time.
Absolutely.
Amen.
We focus about 6 months. We probably called like 20 local banks. We had a package. Hey, this is our vision. What can you do for us? 80% of them said no. We didn't have any experience, but there was four banks that considered us, and out of those 4, 2 took us serious, and we picked 1. So
There you go.
Yeah, and why did the seller relationships? So all of these deals that we've closed have been 6 months, 9 months, 12 months in the making. We're talking to the seller, we're building rapport, we're making him feel, or them or she, making them feel comfortable with us, and that we are closers, that we can do a deal, and so it's building that trust, the likability, and follow through, and building that relationship. It's not just, hey, I want to buy your property, yes or no. It's 6 months. You gotta be cooking in the lab.
You guys are so good at that. And I got to tell you, that is part of what makes you guys so special, is everybody you talk to. And again, it goes to show you how many people reached out and were excited that you were on the show. Not a lot of people have done that in the past. It says that you have reached out and have built these relationships, and they're so important. So I want to thank you guys. You have been amazing, and I know that you've touched every one of our people here in our audience, and whether it was one little thing that you said or something that really impacted us. I just want to thank you for committing tonight to speak with us. And, if there's a way to get a hold of you, could you tell us maybe if you guys are ready to take down a note? How do we get a hold of you, Duamel?
Duamel at 1015.co, Duamel at 1015.co. I don't really have social media, but I do have an at 1015 capital. But yeah, hit me up, man. Hit me up. Go to ten15.co, 1015.co. Hit me up. I love connecting with people. I'm a people person. If anything, I could help you, move the needle in some way.
Yeah.
Myron and I believe in this thing called non-zero days, which means every day do one thing. Even if it's just one uncomfortable phone call, do one thing towards your goals.
I love that.
And
Make
so,
sure you put
Myron.
your information in the chat too, Duamel.
yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. And so if I can help you move the needle in any way, hit me up.
These guys are they're just like you and I. So they're capable of taking down great things and making such an impact. So thank you again. I really appreciate it. I hope if you guys are going to stay with us, I hope you guys will, and people will be able to ask you questions. If not, once again, thank you for joining us. Remember, everybody, Old Capitol Conference next week. It's the 22nd and 23rd. There are still spots. It's in Dallas, Texas, and we're going to be on the field, on the playing field of the Rangers ball field. So come on, get out there. Pudge Rodriguez is going to be with us.
I'm an ex-baseball player.
It's time to sign up. All right. If you need to leave, I want to thank you again for joining us tonight and making Zoom at 8 Old Capitol part of your weekly commitment, and we appreciate it. And we thank you for joining us. And